So I tested positive in 1988, and at that time they didn't know any other women who were living with HIV. I was really quite surprised, even though I had a lot of risk. And the only person that I knew intimately with HIV was quite sick with Kaposi-sarcoma and wasting syndrome. And he lived in the community that I lived in. And so it was a pretty devastating death sentence. I was early in my recovery, and rather than using it as an excuse to give up on life, I used it as inspiration to move forward and at least have something to be proud of in the event of my death. And I continued to work on myself and rebuild my life, and in 1992 I started to lose T cells and have lots of pesky opportunistic infections, and ended up on disability in 1993, and spent a lot of years in and out of having health crises and not health crises. And in 96, when combination treatments came out, I took them and was part of that league of folks who, you know, the Lazarus syndrome, where I had zero T cells and lots of opportunistic infections, and then I was able to get better miraculously. And ever since, I have just gotten better and better. And you know, in the beginning, I think HIV defined my life in a very big way, and in some ways now it's one thing that defines me. And certainly living through the epidemic is a piece of who I am, because I lost a lot of people, and you know, felt like I went through a war zone, and survived, and found at different times I've had survivor's guilt, or you know, different things that have really impacted me emotionally, spiritually, and of course physically. And now it seems, you know, just like another thing, another piece of my identity. I'm also a lesbian. I'm also 53 years old. You know, I also work at the Alliance Health Project, and am a person in recovery. So I think it's one of the things that defines me, but not certainly the only thing. And I feel like there is sort of this thread, though, for those of us who have been in the epidemic all this time, who have seen so much loss and so much illness and so much death, that we are carrying, you know, this history, and it's important, and I appreciate that I get to talk about it. So that's what I got for today.